In a world where boundaries and ethics seem to blur with every passing day, it's unsettling to imagine a time when the very act of slaughtering an animal was considered a sacred duty, a ritual that could either bring a person closer to their God or condemn them to eternal isolation. This is the world of ancient Israel, as described in the biblical text, where the laws of sacrifice and ritual purity were not just religious practices, but fundamental to the identity and survival of a people. The text in Leviticus 17 and 18 is a stark reminder of how deeply ingrained these laws were in the daily lives of the Israelites, and how the violation of these laws was seen as a direct challenge to the covenant between God and His chosen people. The passage in Leviticus 17 begins with a command from the Lord to Moses, instructing him to convey a series of laws to the entire community of Israelites, not just the priests. This is a significant shift, as earlier chapters in the Torah often addressed only the priestly class. The emphasis on inclusivity here suggests that the responsibility for maintaining these laws was a collective one, involving every member of the community. The laws themselves are centered around the proper handling of blood, which is described as the life force of all living creatures. The text warns that anyone who slaughters an animal outside the designated place of worship, the tent of meeting, will be considered to have spilled blood and will face severe consequences, including being cut off from their people. The significance of blood in this context cannot be overstated. Blood is not just a biological substance. It is a symbol of life itself, and the act of shedding blood, even in the context of slaughtering an animal for food, is seen as a serious matter that requires divine intervention. The priest is tasked with casting the blood on the altar as a form of expiation, a way to balance the taking of life with a ritual act that acknowledges the gravity of the deed. This is a powerful metaphor for the idea that life is sacred, and that any act that involves taking life, even for sustenance, must be approached with reverence and responsibility. The passage also addresses the issue of idolatry, specifically the worship of goat demons, which are depicted as archaic nature gods of the wild. The text warns against sacrificing to these deities, framing such acts as a form of spiritual adultery or whoring, a term that emphasizes the exclusivity of the covenant between the Israelites and their God. This prohibition is a clear statement of monotheistic faith, asserting that the Israelites must remain loyal to the one true God and reject all other forms of worship. Chapter 18 of Leviticus shifts the focus to a broader set of moral and ethical laws, encompassing a wide range of behaviors that are deemed abhorrent. The chapter begins with a reminder that the Israelites must not follow the practices of the Egyptians or the Canaanites, whose customs are described as corrupt and contrary to the will of God. The list of forbidden acts includes various forms of incest, adultery, bestiality, and male same-sex sexual activity, all of which are described as abominations that defile the land. The text makes it clear that these laws are not arbitrary. They are part of a divine code that is meant to set the Israelites apart as a holy people, distinct from the surrounding cultures. The emphasis on sexual morality in this chapter is particularly striking. The text outlines a detailed list of forbidden sexual relationships, many of which involve close family members. These laws are designed to protect the integrity of the family unit and the broader community, ensuring that relationships are based on respect and propriety. The prohibition against male same-sex sexual activity, in particular, has been a source of significant debate and controversy in modern times, with many interpretations and applications. However, in the context of the ancient world, this prohibition was likely seen as a way to maintain the social order and prevent the kind of moral decay that the text attributes to the neighboring nations. The text also addresses the issue of menstrual impurity, a topic that is often misunderstood in modern contexts. In ancient Israel, a woman's menstrual cycle was seen as a natural but temporary state of impurity, and sexual contact during this time was forbidden. This was not a means of oppression, but a way to acknowledge the cyclical nature of life and the importance of boundaries in maintaining spiritual and physical health. The laws in Leviticus 17 and 18 are not just a set of rules. They are a comprehensive guide to living a life that is in harmony with the divine will. They reflect a deep concern for the sanctity of life, the importance of ritual purity, and the need to maintain a clear boundary between the sacred and the profane. These laws were intended to create a community that was not only morally upright, but also spiritually connected to its God. A community that could serve as a model of holiness and righteousness in a world that was often chaotic and corrupt. In conclusion, the laws of Leviticus 17 and 18 are a testament to the profound commitment of the ancient Israelites to living a life that was in accordance with the will of their God. These laws, while rooted in a specific historical and cultural context, continue to resonate with us today, reminding us of the enduring importance of moral and ethical living. As we navigate the complexities of modern life, we would do well to reflect on the principles that underlie these ancient texts and consider how they might inform our own values and actions.